Welcome back, beautiful New York tri-state area. You're listening to a Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Clean Collective segment, where clean living meets consumer education, transparency, and legacy building, brought to you by Society Brands and Crunchi, a clean beauty brand setting a higher standard for ingredient integrity, ethical sourcing, and family-safe formulations. Because here's the truth. The toxins we ignore are often the ones hurting us most right under our nose. Clean living isn't just a trend, it's preventative medicine. From the products we put on our skin to what we breathe, absorb, and unknowingly accumulate, exposure adds up. And while most people are focused on symptoms, very few are taught how to identify root causes, toxic load, and the long-term impact of everyday choices on longevity and overall health. That's why today's conversation matters. Today's Clean Collective conversation is centered on this idea. The toxins that we are ignoring are the ones hurting us the most, and they're hiding in plain sight. I'm joined by Natalie Lefevre, the founder of Legacy Lyfe, who's on a mission to heal, educate, and empower people through preventative and regenerative medicine while shining a light on where toxins quietly hide in everyday life in plain sight. Natalie, welcome to the show, superstar.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I thought your intro was perfect, right on. And I'm so glad to see that you really understand the depths of where these toxins are hiding and how we need to be mindful of what to do to really live a great life and have less suffering.
Yes, and I've been following your page for quite some time now, and I love the narrative. I love what you're promoting. And most people don't wake up thinking about toxic load, right? They wake up thinking about fatigue, brain fog, inflammation, hormone imbalance. And these symptoms are really something that is a universal complaint amongst most adults over 40. But research continues to show that chronic low-level exposure to environmental toxins can disrupt response, right? Immune response, can disrupt endocrine function and even mitochondrial health over time. So I want to start here, Natalie. When you talk about the toxins we ignore, what are the most common exposures people don't realize are quietly impacting their health every single day?
Well, and I want to add, you hit it right on the nail. It's about root cause. What is causing all these things to be dysregulated? So toxins are in the air, in our water, blue light. We first start with the iPhone in the morning. There is so much free medicine, which is sunlight, great sleep. Our brain detoxes in the evening, so we can't have that restful sleep to naturally detox, which our body can naturally heal, naturally detox. But our nervous system sometimes is also so dysregulated because we're constantly on and in this switch. So if your body doesn't feel safe, and I call the nervous system the mother, then we can't naturally detox. We have hormone dysregulation, and it's in our foods. It's in the planes when we're flying. It's an EMF, electromagnetic energy. It's from the charging of our phones that is usually right next to our head. So toxins are truly everywhere. And then it's about how full is your bucket and how much are you ingesting that you're not aware of. For example, arsenic, it's in rice and in chicken. Cadmium is in chocolate. If you're having a beautiful tea of coffee or tea or coffee in the morning, what are they heating that water in? What type of water is in there? A lot of people drink tap water and ice cubes. Like, I just don't touch that anymore. Parasites are in sushi, raw fish. Also,
oh boy. As the list goes on,
yeah.
I'm getting emotional overload. Okay, I want to streamline this. Okay, so what you're saying is such an important distinction because people assume if something is legal or over the counter or popular or sold everywhere, it must be safe. And what you're describing is cumulative exposure, not one dramatic event, but years of silent buildup, right? And that's what I want people to take away. This is where I think the conversation really shifts from reactive to proactive. So traditional healthcare often steps in after something goes wrong, but preventative and regenerative medicine ask a different question. How do we protect health before it's compromised? So how does toxin awareness fit into preventative and regenerative medicine? And why is this approach so critical, Natalie, for long-term vitality and longevity?
Toxin awareness is the baseline of our life because we have so many different groups. We're exposed. If you've got a dog, you probably have Giardia. You have a cat, you have the cat scratch disease, which is Bartonella barbesia. I had it. I love my cat who passed away 5 years ago. And so when we realize that everything we put into our mouth or that comes through the skin, chlorine in the pool water, skin creams, which is why, for example, I love Crunchi. Like it's a clean makeup brand. I looked into my makeup brand. I set off the alarm system at the airport in Nice, France. And they thought I had, bomb alarm. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I went through it 3 times. And the lady at the line said, did you put lotion on before getting on the plane? I'm like, yes, I did. And that's when I first became aware, like all these moments in my life about where these toxins can actually come in from. It's makeup, nail polish. There is clean nail polish too.
Wait, you set off the metal detector from the amount of metals in your lotion?
The bomb alarm. Yes. I set it off. I was about to miss the flight. I'm like, is this a joke? And they're like,
that is scary.
Yes. And that's when I became aware that skin creams have these metals and toxins in it that I could set off the bomb alarm in the Nice airport and had to go through an interview and be checked. And like they had to look at my passport. And so I've had all these downloads. I had environmental toxins exposure. I found my glyphosate. Yes, it is real, especially in the United States, especially if you love Tex-Mex, and corn, tortilla chips.
I love that you're framing this though as protection, because prevention isn't restrictive. It's empowering. It's about giving people back agency over their health instead of waiting for a diagnosis, right?
Exactly.
So here's where a lot of listeners and viewers get overwhelmed. Once people start learning about toxins, they can feel paralyzed. Just this conversation, right, is elevating anxiety levels. Like everything is dangerous and they're going to feel everything is dangerous and they need to change everything overnight. And that's not realistic. So for someone just beginning this journey, what are the most impactful first steps to reducing toxic exposure without turning clean living into a source of stress or fear?
Yeah. I would say number 1, stop worrying. That is an emotional, energetic toxin. So don't worry. Start somewhere. It's okay to go in good time, in your time. Start with one group, start with the second group, and then start with the third group. So definitely be aware of light. Light is medicine that we need, great sleep, and understanding that everything you eat should be organic. The healthier quality of food you have, the better. Water is the elixir of life. Making sure you have clean water. Look at the label because there's some bad waters out there that they give us. So water, water, water. Even if you like coffee, have that coffee later on, but really start in the morning with water, end with water at night. It's the body needs water. We are made of water. I also really think prayer, or if whatever you believe, whatever works for you, whether it's meditation, believing in Mother Earth or God or the universe, whatever it is, calming your mind, calming your nervous system, yoga. And yeah, I don't eat sushi. I don't eat raw fish. I'm very careful with rice because a lot of it has arsenic. I'm a chocoholic. I love chocolate. So I'm very cautious in reading. Like, I know Brian Johnson did a great video on different chocolates that you can trust. Ice cream has silicon dioxide. Like, so a lot of these products, like it's better to eat a date or berries or puree it, into a coconut yogurt or something. So it's also in our dishwashing liquid, which we then eat. But on the dishwashing detergent, it says do not ingest. So there's a lot of cleaning products,
right,
facial products. But what I say is don't get overloaded. Don't drink fear. just start somewhere and start with this group, and then in 1 or 2 months maybe add on another little thing, and then down the road another little thing, and you will get there. And just have patience with your timing.
Yes.
And don't be like, oh my God, it's everywhere. And it is, but
yeah. Now, the
Yeah.
Clean Collective segment is brought to you by Crunchi. We mentioned this earlier, which you alluded to is one of your favorite brands. It's a brand that emphasizes ingredient transparency, ethical sourcing, and more importantly, family safe standards. And that's intentional, because what we put on our skin matters just as much as what we put in our bodies, right? So why is skincare and personal care such a critical part of toxin reduction? And what should consumers actually be paying attention to when evaluating clean products, quote unquote?
Well, number one, the skin is your outside view of what's going on inside. So if you've got eczema or pimples or anything wrong, rosacea, something's wrong in your gut and something's wrong in general. So pay attention to those signs. And then, the skin is our number one source of where everything can enter. So through the air, if you're near the plane, or like the chemtrails that going in, the chlorine. So skincare and makeup, especially for us ladies, I think the number is there's 240,000 products of potential chemicals that can enter into our skin as women. And we need to be really cautious because they're endocrine disruptors. They can affect your neurons, the brain. And so we should be very mindful of the makeup, the lip gloss, the creams, the suntan lotion that we use. And it's really important to understand that increases our toxic load. And it's that daily add-on that we do, or the slow poisoning over time and filling that bucket, that is what's going to maybe bring us to suffering in our health, with the mitochondria and the cells not being able to fight, because it's that over-inflammation, that chronic inflammation over time that builds up. But there are solutions. I support and promote the blood cleanse. I've looked into all the different blood filtration systems, which if you are heavily toxic, there's the plasma apheresis, cleaning of the plasma. The device that I promote is a full body blood cleanse. I'm not a fan of the EBU because it's over oxygenation, ozonation. You'd probably need 10 of them. And some people are parking and shelving the EBU because there are reactions. So understanding the right mechanisms, or IVs for chelation, to do that safely, using binders, using the sauna. You guys, everybody should be doing the sauna 4 times a week. That's the way to get those toxins out of your body. Take a binder before. I love Quicksilver Scientific. They have some really great binders. And, you have EDTA. You have a lot of different products. So detoxing is a lifestyle, and we can get ahead of the curve. There's no need to worry. You can be proactive in your life and be preventative. So doing these detoxes, having your celery juice with organic celery juice, and being proactive about the sauna, the infrared sauna. I love Clear Light. They have a non-EMF infrared sauna. We can get this stuff out. We can be preventative in our life and not worry about all the other exposure that's coming in, as long as we're constantly excreting,
right,
being mindful of some of these things like the water and the air and the sushi or whatever. And
we know Natalie doesn't eat sushi now. Definitely don't invite her to a sushi dinner. But but Natalie, that education piece, what you just said, and all this information you just gave us, is everything, because marketing terms can be misleading, but ingredients don't lie. And the skin, being our largest organ, is something people forget far too often. Right now, Legacy Lyfe isn't just about individual health. I want to talk about your creation. It's about generational wellness. And I think that's a powerful reframe, especially for parents and caregivers and women who often carry the responsibility of household decisions. So when you say health is a legacy, what does that mean in practice? And how do daily choices today shape long-term outcomes for families?
Health is wealth. And, I really think that the biggest currency is energy. So for me, my morning, for example, starts with a mindful time alone away from the phone to really connect with our heart, which is the biggest energy center. And when you can be in that right energy and your nervous system is calm, everything that comes at you, of course, caring for your quality water. I love AquaTrue. There's a lot of ways that you can really implement certain devices. But yeah, it's your legacy is giving that on to the next generation. As mothers, I pass on the toxins to my baby. I pass on the toxins in the surrounding around me, in the environment. So our legacy is we are all walking each other home, and to give that energy to others, we are one, right? There's oneness. There's no separation. And for me, that's my biggest goal, is to really create more awareness of God and consciousness, and understanding that um, if you can be able to see those things in the field and protect from it, you can be in your good energy, and we can detox naturally. And making sure that we all just like help each other, like you are.
Yeah.
The messaging that you're bringing to the world to create, this awareness, and understand that we do have the tools. We do have the magical power to be able to live our best lives and not have so much suffering, and to hand that
Yeah.
over to our parents, to our sisters and our brothers. Like I grew up in the Seychelles Islands. I grew up with nature. So my legacy is to hand that over to others and share the wisdom that I was blessed to have. Whatever we all have, our beautiful gifts to share with the world, and be that voice. So I created Legacy Lyfe, Lyfe, to make sure that people are aware of the right labs to do. So I send people to my team, and we send these home lab kits to you. I love the Total Toxins test from Vibrant. It has 5 different groups. It's the best consolidated test to go, oh, that's where stuff is hiding. These are the detox protocols I need to do in this order. We help and guide people with that. And the other one is the GI map. I love that one because you look at your microbiome. Your microbiome is your immune system. And so that's how we can live a legacy life, with good energy, good, giving, and the circle of life, giving and receiving, and understanding like, where do we find these toxins? How do we upgrade every so often with, good products or devices giving us clean water.
And anyone can reach you, right? Meaning it doesn't have to be, specific to one country or another. You can get these kits and these protocols out to anyone listening.
So I'm global. I speak 6 languages. I live in Germany half the year, Miami, and now Dubai. I can send and connect you to a clinic wherever. So it's a global concierge. And you can connect with me on Island Natalie. I personally answer and check all my messages. And I make sure I connect you to the right team so that you can do these home lab kits wherever you are.
Beautiful. If you want to learn more about Natalie Lefevre and her work with Legacy Lyfe, that's Legacy Lyfe with a Y, you could visit natalielefevre.com. You could follow her directly on the gram at island_Natalie and at Legacy Lyfe _. And thank you to Society Brands and Crunchi for supporting conversations that prioritize transparency, ingredient integrity, and long-term health, especially for women and families. That was the Clean Collective segment right here on A Moment of Xen, where clean choices today become healthier legacies tomorrow. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.